Are you struggling with confidence when it comes to your career? Maybe you've been thinking about making a change for a long time, but you haven't done anything and you're still stuck because you just don't have any confidence in yourself, in your abilities, in the skills that you have. So we're going to be talking all about confidence today, how to get more confidence in your career, and how to get more clarity because you have more confidence.
And I'm just some random person.
She's a random person.
She found me, now she's going to teach us all about confidence.
Where do you lack confidence?
Well, I think I could talk about also how, in relation to career, I know that, and I see this in other people too, how I'm waiting to get enough confidence to do something really big, and then I kind of just never do it. Or, I mean, becoming a coach has helped me understand to break things into smaller steps. It's just like everything, when I'm feeling unconfident about something, everything looks like a monolith, and like I have to do something really big to overcome it. But there's actually all these little subsections of this monolith that you can chop it up into that we're often blind to when we're feeling like, or we're having thoughts about, I'm not confident enough.
And then that big monolith goal makes you feel less confident than if you have smaller goals and break it down.
Yeah. What's your experience?
Where don't I lack confidence? I think it could be like a spectrum where, like, if I used to be a 5 out of 10 when it came to my career confidence and like my confidence as a career coach or a business owner, maybe now it's a 7 out of 10, but there's still a long way to go. And then maybe if I get to what I now think would be a 10, I'd realize there's this like whole new spectrum that I don't realize. Okay, so why would you say it's important to have confidence?
Well, it's hard to wait for perfect confidence, but just enough. But maybe it's also in the right areas, right? The confidence that like nothing will fall apart if you just try. So like having the confidence that you can do it without confidence might be more important to thinking that you're actually competent.
That's my exact thinking around that question too, is thinking being okay with not having total confidence often is confidence. So like I've noticed a lot of the most confident people are the people who are willing to own up to where they have fault.
They probably also really realize perfection doesn't exist, which I often forget. But
totally.
It's very paralyzing.
Yeah.
And it also leads to imposter syndrome, which is basically like I'm doing something, but I'm not doing it right. Other people are doing it better.
And that really gets into our thinking. So our thinking is one thing that impacts our confidence, how we think about ourselves. You were talking earlier about the stories that we tell ourselves. Do you have an example of that?
Yeah. So the stories that we tell ourselves could be like, I lost my job. I don't know what to do next. I don't have any skill. I just have to be grateful. Like a lot of these thoughts circle around and create this narrative of us to be like this person that can't overcome. Whereas like changing the narrative to be, this is an opportunity. For example, one thing could be, this is an opportunity to make a change. I didn't like my job and I've been needing to make a change for a while. And then knowing that you don't have to do it all on your own.
I just had a flashback to a client who was struggling with confidence. He was working as a manager doing graphic design work, and he wanted to go into doing consulting, contracting, and like having his own business. And remember, we had a conversation about confidence, and I asked him, I was like, think of a time back when you felt really confident, and what were you thinking at that time? And he found that really helpful. So he went back to a time where he was sitting with his daughter and giving her advice on something. And so when I asked him, what were you thinking at that time? He was thinking like, I got this. And so so we talked about bringing that mindset of I got this into what he's doing next, even if he feels totally like he doesn't have it. But a part of us usually believes the opposite. Like if we're telling ourselves, I don't got this, I don't know what I'm doing. If we switch to I got this, or maybe I got this, or what if I got this, a part of us will also believe that too. And we'll start to build up evidence to back that up of like, oh yeah, these are the reasons why I got.
And that's totally natural. We'll build evidence for what we believe. And also something that you just said that I think is really great is it's not black and white. You don't have to all of a sudden wake up and say, I'm amazing. I'm like a demigod. I'm going to do like these impossible things. Yeah, we know what Becca is. But
you're not.
Yeah, I'm just like a smaller denomination of. I think the idea is that You can just, I might got this. If it feels too hard to say, like, I got it. Just these little pivots are really helpful.
Yeah.
What do you think about as far as how this relates to career and particularly career clarity?
I have lots of thoughts around this. So many people talk about lack of confidence being their biggest challenge when it comes to getting clarity on what they want for their career. Not even just taking action on what they want, but even getting clarity. If we don't have confidence in our abilities or have trust in ourselves, when it comes to getting clarity on what we want, we might not even see different options that are there available to us because we don't believe we could do them, or we don't trust ourselves to follow through and make some kind of change. So then we just end up remaining stuck. So often we think that getting clarity is knowing what our skills are and what's out there in the job market, and that's important too. But first, really working on our own confidence with our thinking, like stuff, maybe I got this, maybe I am good enough, maybe I know what I'm doing, maybe I can make this change, or I can trust myself, all those ways of thinking. And once we kind of settle in more to the ways we do feel confident and trust and know ourselves, then the more we can see what's possible for us, and it's easier to get clarity. I had a thought there and it went out of my head.
I just like listening to the forest.
I can hear traffic too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
The
didn't
traffic.
notice that. I feel a little squirrel brain. I don't know.
And part of overcoming a lack of confidence is being okay with not being confident. Sometimes that's the first step to overcoming it.
Yeah.
So thinking one of the challenges that I see a lot with my clients and myself is thinking we need to have total confidence before we go out and take action on something. And yes, we can work on our mindset, but we're never going to be confident in something until we've done it. So taking action, we usually think confidence leads to action, and it can, but often it works the other way around, and we take action and that leads to confidence. So I have a client right now where we've been talking a lot about that, and she's been struggling with clarity, lack of clarity. She's been so overwhelmed by this that she hasn't been taking any action. And I asked her, how much time do you spend sitting around just stressing and not actually taking action on anything? And she said it was something like 80% of her spare time, not all her time, but 80% of her spare time. So I said, this clearly isn't working. And so we talked about a different way to do things, which was just to not even specifically taking action around her career directly, but just doing different things and getting out. So she went on a Bumble friend date.
Like, I'm just really hearing like two main interventions, which is like check your thoughts for the story that you're telling yourself, and then make sure that you're taking at least some small steps, that you're not just staying stagnant. But even if it's going on a Bumble friend date or not, or more than friend date, whatever it is,
Online apps.
Yeah, action and thoughts kind of like, and like confidence kind of sits in the middle.
Reframing our thoughts, reframing our story or narrative, and then to one that of like, I got this, and then taking action. And like you were talking about at the beginning, breaking it into maybe smaller actions. If you have a behemoth goal of career transformation or transition, what would maybe be like a small first step that would feel less overwhelming if you're lacking confidence?
I find that a lot of people gain confidence by returning to their core values and taking note of ways of the things that they do that align with that, taking note of things they've done in the past that didn't align with that, and just being very intentional about and accepting that is what, like, that's what I believe. This is right for me. And really owning our authentic values. Some kind of like self-returning is a good start in a lot of ways.
Well, maybe take an action in alignment with one of your values. So if one of your
them
top
out.
values is connection, you could do a Bumble friend date.
Yeah.
Or if it's nature, getting outside somewhere new, take a free online course in something you're interested in.
Yeah, I think taking the pressure out of everything and just like bringing it down to, I have this core value, and that could mean this week that I do this small thing.
Yeah, love it. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more videos of ours, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, let us know your core value and if you took a step.